Hello everyone and welcome back to Transferware China Pottery. So today's haul was just picked this morning. I ventured out in Rhode Island, went to two consignment stores, one antique store and a indoor flea market. And I'm here to share with you the new haul. These items will be listed throughout this coming week. So if anyone is interested, Transferware China Pottery on eBay. The link should be right below this video. Okay, so where do I begin? I'm so excited. I had such a great day picking. I can't believe how much I gathered. But so let me start with let's start with the glass. I ended up picking up quite a bit of glass at this flea market from this dealer. Wonderful gentleman. He was very, very nice and had wonderful pricing. Okay, so first we're going to start with this beautiful cranberry opalescent Fenton vase that is in a fairly decent condition. There is a hobnail piece missing here, okay? It's not a chip, it's a manufacturer flaw. Okay, so there's absolutely no sharp edges. It's just a flaw from manufacturer, but I just had to have it. It's absolutely beautiful. Of course, it's not going to, these usually resell for about $140 online. Of course, this one I'm going to have to let it go for much less. And if no one is interested in it, then I'm just going to keep it for my own decor. Okay, following right after from that same dealer, excuse my bending down, I just have to kind of get rid of items as I talk about them. I also ended up getting this absolutely beautiful cake plate, Fenton silver crest cake plate. I believe it's about 12 inches wide. It's in excellent condition, as you can see. And this time of the year, we are now in September, this time of the year, these tend to go a little faster because people start preparing for the holidays. And they gather their cake plates, come out of the closets and the cabinets so people can start hosting, entertaining, and sharing their best cooking and baking. So right after, I have also this beautiful frosted glass piece. I do not know the maker. I have not done any research on it. It needs definitely a good cleaning. It's absolutely beautiful, ruffled on top. It's got a pinkish iridescence to it. I don't see any signatures on the bottom, but I'm going to have to do some research on this piece. I just fell in love with it. Put this down here. Another piece of glass from the same dealer that I also got was this gorgeous, gorgeous amethyst iridescent vase with a grape pattern on it. I tried looking for a marking on the bottom, but if it's there, it's mixed in with the pattern on the base. I'm going to give it a good cleaning on the inside. It really needs it. Of course, you cannot see it, but it really needs a good cleaning. Maybe there's a marking on the inside that I can look for. So if you guys know who made this piece, let me know down below in the comments. That piece of glass. And the last piece of glass from this haul is this gorgeous, gorgeous centerpiece, table centerpiece or mantle centerpiece. It's in the Hollywood Regency style. It's brass. It's absolutely stunning. The glass is a cut glass with a carnival iridescence to it. It's got the most gorgeous swans on the edges. I have never seen this before. It's got the nice shell pattern on the bottom. It's very, very, very heavy, and it's edged, as you can see, from iridescence to clear. There's some scuffling here, but that doesn't really deter from the beauty of the piece in itself. And I don't think there are any markings on the bottom. I was just so excited to purchase it that I'm like, I'll just take it. And the lady right away brought it downstairs where I had my pile. So this was in a consignment store. So we had already moved on from the flea market itself. I only purchased at the flea market from one dealer. Okay. So for glass, this is it for today. Now let's move on to the porcelain. So in terms of porcelain, I ended up picking up quite a few items. So before we go into the blue and white flow blue, I would like to show you these other items that are just as gorgeous. This beautiful German terrine. Ended up buying a set. This set is about 26 pieces. Now this is Bavaria, Germany, and it's, which my pronunciation of these words is terrible because my accent is so heavy. Hutchenvenenvoerer, Selb, Bavaria. So if anybody knows how to really pronounce this, please type it down below because I would love to learn it. I probably should have done a Google research before I started the video, but that's okay. I'm not here for perfection, but I would love to improve how I pronounce these things. It's an absolutely gorgeous pattern. Look at the cobalt blue and the gold gilding on the border. I did acquire quite a few pieces, and then of course the stamp on the lid for superior quality of porcelain is a really white porcelain. And what's really good about these mid-century pieces from Germany, Bavaria, they can still be used today, okay? Don't just keep them in the cabinets. They can still be used today. You cannot put them in the microwave. But when we're talking about this type of fine china, who's using microwaves anyways? I don't particularly own a microwave. It's not obviously a healthy thing to have in your home, all that radiation going into your food, but this is the way I see it. Some other people see it much differently, and it's definitely convenient. I do have to say that. And there was also beautiful platters. It is cobalt blue. It's not black. I hope that the lighting is allowing you to see the beautiful blue on this. And then it says here, etched cobalt, probably the name of the pattern, I will assume, which is not marked on the terrine. Yeah, ended up getting about 26 pieces of this. 25, 26 pieces of this, if I really recall. And this is a much lighter platter. I ended up getting a salt and pepper shaker, sugar and creamer, and some luncheon plates, etc., etc. Okay, so now that I've opened up some room here, so I can move around a little bit better for you, I also ended up finding this gorgeous, now that we're on the cobalt blue, we're going to follow right through with this. Ended up picking up this gorgeous bud vase double handle, cobalt blue, gold gilded geisha pattern. Now this is absolutely marvelous. Marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. No chips, cracks, or repairs on this item. I looked it right through. There's something inside, but I can't seem to be able to get it out. So it sounds like a piece of paper. Now I'm curious to see what it is. Well, I'll try to figure that out. Maybe with a pair of long tweezers I can pull it out. Isn't that stunning though? It's an absolutely stunning piece. Now, there's a marking on this which makes me believe that this was probably from the 1930s, 1940s. Nice and heavy as well. From that same store, I ended up picking up this beautiful cobalt blue chocolate pot made in Japan, probably Nippon, although it's not marked. And it does have hand painted raised enamel florals, which I believe are roses. Very, very nice item. I paid about $10 for this, so I'm going to let it go for a little bit less on eBay. You know, I go accordingly. When I price my items, I go accordingly to, obviously, rarity, desirability, but I also, if I can give a better price, I do give a better price. Because sometimes I don't pay full price for these things, and why not let it go for less so someone else can get a deal as well and become affordable for a wider range of people. So moving on forward, blue and white. Let's talk about the blue and white. Okay, so let's move on to this beautiful Copenhagen cup and saucer. So Christmas is on the rise, okay? So Christmas is coming very, very soon, within about 3 months. And the pattern on this is choosing the Christmas tree. One of the cups is marked 1979. All others are marked 1980. And these were, so there's about 7 of them. 7 of them. Very, very nice. Absolutely love this. And that same store, I picked up Mother's Day hanging plates by Copenhagen. Now, these are not highly valuable, but this lovely set, I have never come across this. It's absolutely beautiful. There's 1972 with the horses and the little hanging bowls. They do have the wires on the back for you to hang them. Made in Denmark, high quality porcelain. Mother's Day 1975. And this has a deer on that. 1974 with the polar bears. Absolutely love this one. And then 1976, the swan and the little ones. Oh, pardon me, the lighting seems to be glaring on the piece. I just absolutely love these. They're so darling. What a wonderful gift for Mother's Day. Okay. So on that same store, I ended up picking up this beautiful set of Naratech bone china. It's in the Barrymore pattern. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, this is an ivory color porcelain. I wish I could. Maybe if I bring it in closer like that, I promise you next time I'm going to adjust the lighting a little bit less. I do actually like to use daylighting for this kind of stuff, but today it's very gloomy outside. Very grateful for the rain. Everything was so very dry, gardens and grass and everything, but everything is looking just nice and fresh and plumped. Thank God we had some rain. We really needed it. On this same particular set, there's 2 very rare pieces. The rarest being the coffee pot. So this set came with about 78 pieces. I was delighted to get it. It's just a delightful dealer. gave me a very nice deal. I did pay up about almost $300 for the whole set, but that's okay because there's quite a bit of pieces, so definitely can make my money back on that and pass it along to someone who is interested in purchasing it. So this is the actual teapot. So the teapot is shorter and stubbier, okay, narrow, very nice. The pattern is absolutely gorgeous with a gold gilding and the floral borders stunning. Now the rarity is the coffee pot. Very, very difficult to find these items in the coffee pot. And here it is. Isn't that lovely? Superior quality. These sets can be used. They cannot be microwaved due to the cold, but you wouldn't want to put this in the microwave as well, or anything of this kind in the dishwasher. The high temperatures and the harsh soaps in the dishwashers will completely destroy these items. All of these items I only recommend Myers soap and washed by hand with lukewarm water. The crazed items, try to wipe them down. The crazing will absorb the whatever you put on them, whether it's food or water, etc., etc., etc. You should not be eating from crazed porcelain anyways, because it does release all of the chemicals onto your food. You want to keep it safe for yourself and your family. Okay, so that was that on that term of that store. Then we moved on to a different store. And in that different store, I went a little crazy, but that's okay, because sometimes you do have to pay up for things. I don't have a problem paying up for things, especially if it's something I really enjoy. Okay, so the first item is I'm going to show you is this beautiful antique Limoges hand-painted florals dish. H&C, Limoges, France. It's absolutely stunning. Heavy gold gilding on the edges. The florals are absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I had to grab it. I don't usually like to grab single pieces, but in this case, this was a must. Oh, and by the way, the Limoges pieces I showed in the last haul sold within 24 hours. That we picked up at one of the flea markets from a dealer friend of mine. So then, moving forward from that piece, I ended up getting some transferware. Oh, before we get to the transferware, let's go on to these beautiful jugs I ended up purchasing at this last store. And these are hand-painted French pottery fan style pitchers. This is absolutely gorgeous. And you can tell it's a French pattern by the way this flower is painted. I don't know who wrote in pencil on pottery. The sticker was just an item number for inventory. Now these usually have some nicks or skips on the glaze, which is very, very common of this type of pottery. But this is absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. Yeah, I wish people wouldn't write on things with markers and pencils because it gets absorbed and then you cannot remove it. And there's a second one. I believe this one is older. Just the way the pottery feels, but look at all the bright colors. Isn't this absolutely stunning? It still has an old porquière, quart. Oh, that's what they called it in France. Oh, very nice. And this is a clay. This is a clay. It's not a porcelain. But not my style, but I appreciate the colors. I absolutely love them. And I do have quite a few clients who do appreciate that kind of pottery as well. So we're going to move on to the transferware. The transferware, it's quite interesting because there's two types of transferware here, okay, that are from the same company, but one is from Victorian times, 1800, late 1800s, and then we have the 1970s, 1980s transferware, okay? And they're from the same company, and that company was Homer Laughlin, okay? It was an American company that started to produce porcelain in the late 1800s. So the first, I'm going to show you the oldest piece. This set I got had about 90 pieces on it, which I am so in love with, okay? And I'm going to show you why I'm so in love with this. The roses, the cabbage rose pattern on this, it's absolutely gorgeous. It is the Hudson pattern. Very, very rare to find full sets like this. Very, very, very rare. I will sell it in groupings. It's very shabby chic, you know, or cottage-like. This is just absolutely stunning. I don't recommend eating off of these. Definitely don't eat off of those. They're not safe. And there's quite a bit of crazing on some of the pieces. Sugar and creamer, very rare. Ended up getting also a bunch of butter packs. They're just darling. Look how nice that is. Okay. Got platters, got cups and saucers. The teapots and the coffee pots are extremely difficult to find. Extremely difficult to find. The more I look, the less I see, you know. But they do come around very so often, and they're really, really desirable. People are really starting to pick up on these kinds of items. Now we have a platter with the beautiful terrine, and it's got that ornate high relief pattern all around the edge of the terrine. This one is in fairly good condition, and then right underneath it there's a small platter, and then the Hudson pattern stamped on the bottom. The platter is in great condition, no crazing at all. Now, these were produced from the late 1800s, late 1800s, all the way through the Edwardian era. Okay, very, very nice. Quite a few pieces of that to be able to share with you. Following next, same company, much later on, we have this beautiful set of red transferware plates. And this is by the same company, Homer Laughlin, which is an American company. And as you can see, it's the same store. They kept the same tags on it. It's a farm scene with a leaf border. It's absolutely stunning. I have never seen this pattern before. And this pattern is called Home Sweet Home, an American subject. Isn't that wonderful? Absolutely stunning. There's about 7 dinner plates. So you can see probably 1898 to probably 1909, all the way through late 70s, early 80s transferware. And a lot of these transferware plates were gifted when you used to, I do remember going shopping with my grandmother when I used to travel over from Portugal, and we used to go grocery shopping, and she would get points and then pick the pieces of china that she wanted to take home. She collected 2-3 patterns at the same time. I'm going to speed up things a little bit. I don't want to make this whole very, very large and boring for you. Cheers to a lovely cup of coffee during this weather. So, in the same style of production of transferware, I ended up finding these gorgeous, gorgeous dinner plates, turkey dinner plates by Mayotte. stamped queens in the back. These are absolutely marvelous. Still in the original box, no chips, cracks, or repairs. It doesn't look like they were ever used. And they are from the Thanksgiving patterns with a turkey pattern. Now, mind you, these are made in Britain, in England, okay? A lot of these dishes now are produced in Colombia. They're produced in Portugal and China. Colombia and China. They still can get resold and people still buy them, but they do not go for as much as the English. So we do have 4 of those there. Then, interestingly, I have some polychrome brown transferware here for you, and the same pattern produced by 2 different companies. So this is a picture. This picture was made by Furnival, Staffordshire, Dickens Coaching Days pattern, which was earlier. I believe they were the originals. Then later on, which is the same pattern, this one does not have, it doesn't an incised, I think it says made in England, but the pattern is the same, but produced back in the 70s by Enoch Wedgwood. So obviously the pattern got purchased from that specific company and they moved on to reprinting it. And it's brown transferware, and then it's polychromed, hand painted polychrome right afterwards here. And this is a gorgeous plate. I believe this is a chop plate, not a dinner plate because of the size. So if I had something here to measure it, let's take a look here. Oh, well, 11 inches. Usually the dinner plates were 10 inches or 10.25 inches. This one being 11 inches. I would like to think that this is a chop plate, to be honest with you. Very nice. But you see, same patterns, different makers, collectors just picked up throughout the years of their lives the same pattern in itself. It didn't matter who made it. It just mattered that they had more pieces added on to their lovely set, which is fantastic. Gives it such a nice touch. And I tell you why. It's quite interesting how that comes about, because a lot of times we tend to, the way I see my collections and what I do is I'm keeping it for a while and then I'm passing it along. It's because it is mine for now, okay? If I get tired of it, I pass it along. If I decide that I need to move on to something else, I pass it along. And someday I will no longer be here to pass it along and someone else will have it, which is fantastic. So I'd like to think that I am a glass china keeper for the moment, okay? So in that term of transferware, we're also going to feature this beautiful green transferware picture, Victorian picture, with these large, beautiful, they look to me to be peonies. They're absolutely stunning. There's quite a bit of transfer on it. I added some frills to it. I just absolutely love these. Semi porcelain. There's no pattern on the bottom. Colonial pottery, which was a very popular transferware pottery. Obviously these would come with bowls, but the pictures are extremely sought after for floral arrangements. Now when it comes to floral arrangements, these items, I get a little concerned when people are like, do they hold water? How long are you keeping this water in is the question. If you're going to use it to display a floral arrangement for 2-3 days, you're okay. If you're going to keep it longer than that, even if it's not creased, will end up damaging the piece, just so you keep that in mind. So before the end, this beautiful piece of flow blue, because I am a flow blue collector and reseller, was sitting there just waiting for me. I did pay quite a bit for it. I paid about $300 for this piece. And it's absolutely stunning. I absolutely love it. I don't quite know the pattern of this. I haven't done enough research. There's a little bit of a flake on the side here and a glaze pop here, but these type of porcelains, this is how it was. There's always fiery marks, but absolutely no crazing on it. I can show you the back. It's a nice large piece. So for pieces like this that are so rare, I don't mind paying up for them. Okay. And last but not least, I think I'm going to keep this piece. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pass this piece along. I have never been a huge fan of albums and pictures. I just never been. But I came across the most gorgeous Victorian album for pictures, and it's in very good condition considering his age. Now, a lot of these pieces that you see in the antique shops are in very, very poor condition, just because they were very fragile and they were made out of paper and they just disintegrated. Okay, when they went out of style, a lot of people were throwing them in the garbage. Fell in love with the pattern, fell in love with the hardware on it. I fell in love with everything about this. Okay, so here it is. A beautiful Victorian with its clasp in place, which is very difficult to find, still operating perfectly. Isn't that beautiful? Look how everything is lined up so perfectly. I'll show you the back. It's a purple velour with a floral pattern. It's a little faded, but this is definitely 1880s for sure, and it's absolutely marvelous. I can't believe it has a beautiful scene in the front, picture scene in the front, a little bit of wear on the gold gilding. All its pages are inside. Now, a lot of these, the paper they used had a lot of, there's quite some pictures in here. How fun is that? A lot of these pieces, the paper contained a lot of acid. So I can show you there's a little bit of staining, but that's normal. And all the pages there, it's absolutely magnificent. And I found some nice old pictures of these beautiful, and actually this picture is valuable because this is the first, it's a thick metal. So I think that these have some value to them of this gentleman. And of course you would have to be someone of means. It's a metal piece. Don't know much about this kind of stuff, but I just simply fell in love with it. And also this lovely lady here, most likely no longer with us. And he says Sanders on the back, Alfred Center, this Friendship, New York. So this was obviously some people from New York, a family album. And as I flip through these pages, which I don't want to keep you any longer, I am just in love with all these images. Look how lovely this is. Oh, there's a little rip here, but nothing that, no piece is missing. So this is also a lovely picture that's been cut out and applied to. Oh, look how beautiful she is. So, my dear friends, this was my last haul. And it's all for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoy this moment with me. I sure enjoyed sharing this with you because I absolutely love these items and these things. And see you next time. So long.